When you want to mix some rhythm and lead together and do it well, like the greats, then you need three things. You need to have chord knowledge. You need to be able to find chords anywhere on the fretboard. You need to know how to find scales so that you're able to create licks and melodies when you're playing those chords. Most importantly, you need to have groove, alright? You need to have a good groove while you're playing the licks and the chords together. If you look at two of my favourite guitarists, which are John Mayer and John Frusciante, whenever they are jamming and they're mixing some chords and licks, they've normally got this funky groove going on in the background, which requires a lot of technique, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. We're going to be looking at triads so that we're able to play our chords but not in these big block shapes, so that we're able to quickly bash out some licks. We're going to be looking at the scales that surround those triads so that we're able to pull out some tasty licks, and for the groove we're going to be looking at rhythm technique, how we can mute the strings and really keep that flow going when we're playing everything together. We're going to look at two really cool guitar moves which are a lot of fun to play and a lot of fun to practice, and that will solidify everything together. I'm going to finish it off with a little bonus lick that's really cool to play at the start of these progressions, so make sure you stick around for that. So let's dive right into it. So first let's look at the chords. So we're going to be playing in the key of C, and we're going to be looking at a C7. That's our 1 chord. Our 4 chord is going to be an F7. And our 5 chord, we've got a G7. Now we're going to be looking at triad versions of those. So that means we're going to be looking at just 3 notes instead of having these big block chords. Again, that makes it difficult for us to do anything else with our fingers. So we're going to take 3 notes basically from this shape, and it's going to look like this. Okay, so we've got 8, 9, 8 from the D string. Alright, this is a really cool shape to slide in and out of. And then we're going to use, if you played the B7 before, alright, we're going to take that shape up here, and on the 8th fret that becomes an F7. And on the 10th fret, a G7. So, just to recap, our chords are 1 chord, our C7, our F7, and our G7. The next thing we need to look at is the scale that surrounds that, and it's actually shape 1 of the pentatonic scale. So you've got, for C, you've got 8, 11, 8, 10, 8, 10, 8, 10, 8, 11, 8, 11. We're going to use a little bit of shape 2 as the extension to that. So we've also got 13. If we climb back, we've got 13, 11, 13, 11, 12. So this little box here, then that slides back into shape 1. And then we can slide back down to 10 and use the extension of the other side. So the next part is very important, and that's the rhythm. And basically we need to be able to mute the strings when we want. We need to be able to hear them when we want as well. And that requires a little bit of this technique, alright, which is a lot of fun to play when you get it. So let's start with our C7 chord, okay? And then we're going to release the pressure of the strings, so that when we touch them, we only get that muted sound, sorry. Then we want to practice strumming over that. And I'm gonna alright, that kind of strum. Now you want to practice stabbing down on the first beat. So then you want to start being a little bit intuitive with it and trying to find a little bit of a rhythm pattern. Something really simple. Then you can start adding a little bit more as you get more comfortable with it. Then you want to practice with the other chords. Alright, and then when you get a little bit more confident, you can practice sliding into the chords just from a fret behind. Alright, so next we're going to practice the groove whilst playing notes from the scale. And this is going to be really important when we want to play everything together, right? When before we look at the moves, alright? We also need to know how to mute the strings and how to play notes from the scale. Alright, and again, once you get this down, it's really fun to play. So I'm using my first finger here to mute the first 4 strings on the 8th fret. Okay, and again, I'm going to stab down when I want to hammer on, and I'm just using the 10th fret here, the D and the G string. Just finding little licks there, right? Just practice hammering on it first. And then you can add in a little hammer on pull off. And just practice that over and over until it sounds good. So we're going to look at the guitar moves now. So I'm going to show you 2 guitar moves that you can use over any of the chords. And then I'm going to show you the final guitar move, which you can use at the very start to kick everything off. Or you can use it in the turnaround as well. But we'll get to that. The first lick we're going to look at goes like this. Alright, so basically, we're going into that C7 chord. When you get that first, right? So we're sliding in, muting. Now, I would suggest that you don't think about it, you know, like, I need to slide, and then I take my fingers off, and then I mute, and I chicka. Try and just feel the groove, right? You need to feel it. Alright, that's very important, right? To make it feel rhythmic and natural, alright? So just really focus on letting go a little bit. And that's when the magic starts to happen. Alright, so we do. Alright, and we've already practiced this, okay? So just, you know, barring those first 3 strings, and then stabbing down on the G as you're hammering on to 10 and pulling off. Just really trying to avoid that D string and then stabbing down on the D string. Okay, so nice and slow. Okay, and then next again, we've got to slide back in. Actually, we're getting the G string like this, alright? So I'm just getting 10, 8, alright? Like that. So the next move, again, we can just use the same chord, and it goes like this. Alright? And again, you can use this with any of the chords. The same with any of the licks. Alright, so they're just moves designed to help you with some muscle memory, and then you can do your own thing with it. So again, what we're doing here, we're getting 13, 11, 12, 10, 12 slide to 10, and then 8. And again, we're really focusing on keeping that groove going. So you can see I'm kind of strumming that as well. And that's just because I'm kind of muting the strings when I'm playing along with them. Alright? Alright, and this is a really cool lick to enter the progression with. Again, I'm kind of keeping that rhythm going. What we're doing here is we're getting 13 on the B, 11 on the high E, and I'm still keeping that strumming going, alright? So it's kind of like a ghost note there. And then pulling off to 13, 11, 12, 12 to 10, and then 8. Alright, and then I'm pulling off, again keeping that rhythm going. And then pulling off, from G, the 10 to 8. And then getting 10 on the D. And then I've got this double stop, the D and the G together on the 8th fret. And then I'm going to slide from my middle finger on 9 to 10 and get into that G7 shape. So nice and slowly. And then back into it again. Alright guys, I hope you had fun with this one. Make sure, if you do, you like, you subscribe, all that jazz. And I'll see you soon with a new lesson.